Alright, what's going on, guys? Again, doing a review, an in-depth review. I feel like a lot of people on YouTube, like these toy reviewer people, that's just their job. They just review toys. They're, how do I explain this? They're just generic toy collectors. They're not really huge Jurassic Park fans. They may say they're huge Jurassic Park fans, but are they really? They have like, what, a couple good toys? They don't really care about the franchise. Jurassic Park is my favorite franchise. So that's what I try to do with the Indominus. A lot of people liked it, so I'm going to do another one for the Chomping Tyrannosaurus Rex. I did not want to buy this guy. I ended up buying him. He's a list price, I believe, of $20, and my Walmart had him for $15. So if you want to buy him, go to Walmart first. I really didn't want to buy him for the fact that, number one, the figure looked kind of crappy. He still looks ugly, but when you take him out, he's going to look a lot better. We're going to do an unboxing first. We'll get into everything here. I have a bunch of toys to compare. I even have figures. Here's a Billy Brennan. We'll get to that later. So right now, let's do unboxing. Do not use a pair of scissors. Use like a knife, a very small one. Like Chris said, Mr. Chris likes dinos. Point it away from your body. So when you're choosing these, I guess the first thing off the bat is they have a lot of paint defects. Sometimes there's glue here. Sometimes there's like this yellow paint between the cracks of the pebbles of the skin, which I'm going to say right now it's a positive. This guy really does have some decent detail. A lot of times there's problems with the tip of his nose. There's some specks of white or yellow and red. And in the mouth, the tongue usually has paint problems right about there. Besides that, the paint, I've been to 4 Toys R Us's, and I've seen 9 Chomping Rexes, and they all sucked. They all had a paint defect somewhere. And I went to Walmart, and I ended up getting this guy, and he was one of the 2 that didn't, and the other one didn't either. I might go back tomorrow and get the other one, because $15 is a good price. That's another thing. This toy I would say is definitely not worth 20. I would say 15 is a good price for him. 10 to 15. If you get him for 20, I mean, he's not that bad, but 15 is a good price. That's why I got him, and that's why I'm doing this right now. And the thing about these boxes is it's a great, like I already stated at least 2 times, I love the color scheme of this blood, of the Indominus Rex skin, blue to white. It's just a fresh, clean look. It looks very nice. Oh, one more. Someone at the Toys R Us was trying to open this side up. I don't know what the hell they were doing. But I really do like this packaging because it's like half a box. It saves Hasbro some money, but at the same time I get to play with the toys and feel them before we buy them, which is a very good thing. Never done an unboxing vid before, so this is new. They all come with, like, you know, these twisty ties. They do a really good job of keeping the twisty ties on and staying there. And this does not look like you could reattach the tail at all, because these aren't really twisty ties. These are like permanent plastic pieces for the tail. So if you want to buy them in box, you're going to have to keep them in the box. Plus the tail tab, I don't think you can even take out and put them back in. So you're kind of screwed. You have to keep them in box or keep them in the play. So we're going to take this guy out and keep him into play. Very interesting. I say, please tell me he will balance correctly when we get the tail on. He's actually not that bad. Initial unboxing right now. I'm seeing if there's a way you can get these off without destroying them, so I can put them back if it was possible, but it really doesn't look like that's possible. These looks like they're just permanent twisty ties. So it looks like I'm going to be cutting them. You're going to have to use scissors. A knife is too dangerous, I think, for this. Let's pop the tail in. The tail is, wow, okay, it's really thin. I mean, that looks like, ooh, that's interesting. It's not a solid, or I should say, a hollow plastic like this guy is. He's actually like a thick rubber, maybe a little hollow, but you can move his tail a little bit. That's kind of cool. But once you put her in, that's it. So here we go. Tab A to slot B. And there she is. Let's see if she balances. Oh wow, awesome. Okay, cool. First things first, shout out to Anonymous Collector on the JP Toys forum. He had a scoop where he had some leaked information of the pictures of all these guys. Does he not move? Is my guy permanent? There we go. I thought my Rexy wasn't gonna, there we go. Her arms weren't gonna move. Anonymous Collector had a scoop exclusive where it showed the prototypes of this guy, and the original prototype looked amazing. And then they showed, right after that, a picture of him, and I'm like, are those two different variants, or is that the same one and they updated it to this? And my God, does this one look ugly compared to the first one. That's why my initial reaction to this was like, man, I'm not going to buy that. That's ugly as hell. I'm going to buy the bad boy. I'm going to buy the other Indominus. I'm going to buy Blue. I'm going to buy the Ankylosaurus, which I did. But I just held out for this guy. I haven't really seen him until this week or the past half week. And I looked at him in the store, and I see, if you watch my Hasbro quality control Jurassic World video, I'll link it in the description or right over here as an annotation. You can click it and it'll open as a new window. It's just these jaws are all, they're wobbly, they're crooked when you put them down. They're just they're not that great quality. And you look at the figure, it's just like, man, that's kind of an ugly figure. But Walmart, $15. You can't go wrong with that. So it looks like my guy was legitimately straight from the factory, hasn't been touched, because I had to move his arms and legs to get some articulation. So don't be alarmed, yours is probably gonna be like mine. But he's out of the box, and I have him right here against this old big red Rex, and he actually doesn't look too bad. His skin, it feels like something like this, like a real feel skin, but it's a hard plastic. I can see kids being like, oh, that's pretty sweet. And also because of his texture, and if you don't like his paint job, which his paint job does suck, it's very bland. The only detailing you get is right here with some brown markings, teeth that make it look more like a predator, and it's just like diarrhea down here. It's very bland, but it still looks okay. I wouldn't really nitpick it that much. The only really nitpick is this like moonwalking Michael Jackson thing he's got going on. The bad boy toys and some of these other toys, most of them have screw holes in them. This guy does not have one screw hole visible. Great job, Hasbro. Another thing is he balances right. Great job, Hasbro. That's just great. The main feature of this guy is his chomping jaws. Some of them have problems going up and down. They're generally loose. They should really have more of a reaction. I'm gonna get to this later. They should really reverse this. They should have had his jaw roaring, and then you push a button, and then his jaw goes upward. I'll get into that later. Overall, this toy really isn't that bad. You throw a custom paint job on him, he'll be okay. Just get the cons quickly out of the way. Bad paint job, like he's moonwalking Michael Jackson. The arms look like they're a little bit too small. There's no claw paint on them. The original prototype was way better looking of a skull and jaw than this one. And what is up? We still couldn't figure this out in the JP Toy Forum. What is up with this line here? There is a line, just a separate line of plastic. It looks so dumb. It looks stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. There's no line on the inner portion of his jaw here. They tacked on an extra piece, so I don't know what's up with that. And that's not a different plastic. It might be a hard rubber. That's plastic. That might be a hard rubber. I mean, was that like a regulation for kids that are stupid that they drop it on the ground and it'll shatter if it was this hard plastic and they need to put a rubber thing on here? Well, why not make this whole thing rubber, or at least the head up to this tail part? I mean, I don't know. That's Hasbro for you. We can never know. The feet look kind of weird. They're webbed. That's a con. I just noticed he got some. You can't get it perfect all the time. You got some paint issues with the toes, but that's actually an easy fix. You can take some water-based marker from Hobby Lobby or something and fix that. Same with the claws. Do that real quick and make them look cool. Those are pretty much it for the cons. Pros are no screw holes. He balances. He actually doesn't look that bad, and he's actually a pretty decent size, especially for 15 bucks. I think he's okay, and he does have a pretty sweet action. Another pro I didn't notice, he's got some sick calves. That's a nice detail there. So he's really not, out of the box, he's really not that bad of a figure. So, let's compare him to some people. I guess people literally. Here's Billy Brennan from Jurassic Park 3. Let's have him eat him. Oh wow, he actually stayed. So there's head on, he stays head on. But then if you want to, I'm assuming this is what's going to happen. You want to try and throw him. And there he goes. Let's try just something like that. When you're traveling with him, he's going to fall out. Because this jaw is made to close down when you push it. If Hasbro, I don't know who engineered these toys. If Hasbro had the jaw roaring and then you press the button and had it close up, then that would have meant if you had a figure in here and you're holding down the button, you could move the toy back and forth and the figure would have stayed in the mouth. That would have been actually the way to go. But I don't know who's engineering at Hasbro that could have done that. Also, here's another thing. The prototypes from the anonymous collector in Jurassic Park Toys forum said or showed us they had a green variant of this Rex, and I hope they do come out with that. For 15 bucks, I would take the green variant, no problem. Once again, boom, Billy Brennan's dead. I really wish the button pushed up and grasped onto the animal. See, it kind of sucks. So we're done with Billy Brennan. It's the only real human figure I have. I'm going to compare him to everyone's one of the favorites from the, oh man, look at that. One of the favorites from the Lost World and the original Series 2 Jurassic Park. Utahraptor. Very sick showdown we got here. Let's see the size comparisons. These are identical. Wow. Identical size. I wasn't going to take the Utahraptor out of storage. Good thing I did. So that's awesome. If I had to pick one to play with, I'd probably, or if I was a kid, I'd probably go with the Utahraptor. It's got really nice feeling skin. And he's got a really sweet action too, this kickback. Everyone's going to get mad at me for this one, because apparently this guy is very rare. So let's show him down. Well, I guess this isn't that much of a fair comparison. Let's compare the sizing. Looks like Carnotaur Lost World is a little bit smaller. And to be honest, if I had to pick Carnotaur versus this guy, I would pick the Carnotaur. He has nice, it's very hard rubber, but it feels nice. And he's got a pretty sweet action of his mouth opening up. You know, it's a weird angle to open it. I really shouldn't be comparing which toy I'm gonna pick. Kenner versus Hasbro. It's 99% gonna be Kenner. And this is a comparison everyone else has been doing. My favorite of all time, besides this one, my young T-Rex, and he's what we call in the JP Toys form a Cyclops, because he's so beat up, he doesn't have any little eye left on his left side, and his one arm is stuck permanently. Wow, this is actually not that much of a size comparison. I thought this guy would be the same size as this T-Rex, but the young T-Rex actually looks like smaller. The young T-Rex obviously is a huge favorite of everybody's, including myself's, and it looks like they're roughly the same size, but this Chomping is a little bigger. And this is from the cat. Size. I do not have the Thrasher with me, so I'm sorry. Everyone's gonna get mad at me for this one too, because this guy's actually pretty rare apparently too. Oh, does his battery still work? I don't think so. But his action does. So, I don't think he's going to stand up on his own. Lost World Electronic Velociraptor versus Rex. You can probably have this guy as the Raptor and this guy's the Rex if you really wanted to play. Size comparison. I actually just took Blue out of the box. Probably should have kept her in, but she's got some balancing issues apparently on the toy form that people are saying. You know, you were standing fine earlier, Blue. There you go. Blue versus Tyrannosaurus. And also, if you have standing problems with Blue, you can pretty much throw her down. You can see these little divots all the way down and have the front claw be the third balance point for that. Anyways, that looks pretty sick. They're about to go at it. So here's the size comparison. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't think anyone's done this comparison yet, but we got Indominus versus Chomping. I don't know if this is going to be to scale for the film. It might be the Mega Strike, might be the one that's in scale to the bad boy, but this ain't even fair. Indominus is pretty much gonna swallow this thing whole. That is a impressive animal we got on our hands here. But for the time being, Chomping versus Indominus is going to be a fine battle for kids. You can have boom, boom, and she can still attack. I can't get her to stand on her own either. She's got some leg problems. So boom, boom. It's like juvenile adult. So this really is the new age young Rex, this Chomping Rex. You see, I would say this Chomping is nearly 2/3, maybe even a half of the size of the big red. So those are the comparisons of all the animals. What would I give Chomping out of a 10 score? If we had the original prototype of the Chomping, man, I would probably give that guy like a 9 or even a 10. I don't give out 10s very easily in life, but that first prototype was a phenomenal looking animal. Jeez. We're gonna go outside actually and do some dioramas of him and Billy Brennan, but if we had the original prototype, I'd probably give him a 9 or a 10. I'm gonna give him, I think, a 7. Maybe no more than a 7 and no less than a 6. So let's just give it a 7. We're feeling great because the movie's coming out. After the movie, if the movie sucks, which it probably won't, I'm probably gonna give it a 6. But man, if we had that original prototype, it'd be absolutely phenomenal and really special. So let's go outside and take some photos of these guys. Alright, so that does it. Chomping Rex. Go to Walmart, see if you can get it for 15 bucks. Don't really spend 20 at Toys R Us. I would say it's not really worth it. Be on the lookout for paint defects here, the eyes, the tongue, the tip of the nose. besides that, this ain't that bad of a figure. It really is better in your house, in your hands, like I've been saying in my Park is Open documentary. Check out that one. That's a pretty good, that's my most popular video. The packaging is really great. Seeing these toys on the shelf is just something really special. I wish we had the original prototype, but there's nothing we can do. But this toy ain't that bad. He really isn't that bad. I would say a 7, maybe a 6. I mean, it's not going to be this. We're never going to get this again. If I ever get rich and famous, I'm going to try for it, though. We're going to have boxes and toys just like that. But until then, we can hope and pray. We need to hope and pray that we get human figures. What is wrong with you, Hasbro? Like, why would you make these, like, dinosaurs and not have these guys to eat? Like, an Owen, Claire, Gray, B.D. Wong, and I don't know, Vic Hoskins, all those guys. Anyway, rant over. This guy's not bad. Buy him for 15. Would I say he's worth 20? Sure, I don't know. If you have the money, why not? If you don't, don't. I was actually going to get him at Toys R Us to rack up some rewards. But 15 at Walmart, there's no doubt I'm going to get him for 15 at Walmart. Screw Toys R Us. There's one thing I noticed that I'm just messing with him right now. I'm really touching him a lot by the tail, and the tail feels more like something of a Kenner nature. So I'm really messing with his tail a lot rather than holding him here. It makes him like it feels fake. This feels more real. And I do give him kudos for making this little dinosaur skin, and his sculpt isn't too bad. It's just his head, man. I should have kept that first prototype. Anyways, go to Walmart, get it for $15. Have a good one, guys. Park is open June 12th. Happy shopping.